On the news tonight, National Assembly told to impeach Buhari over Naira redesign policy. Joe Igbokwe, Tinubu will rule till 2031, then hand over to a northerner. Oodua group knocks Afenifere for endorsing LP in Lagos. INEC chair Yakubu must go. Melai insists. Lagos residents share ordeal after accepting old note from banks. And on sports, Iheanacho's double nominated for Leicester City Goal of the Month. You are watching the world news from BGI TV Comments. That's the YouTube handle. I am Morire Rebila Lawal. Good evening. Let's have the news in detail. The Southern Nigerian People's Mandate has called upon the National Assembly to begin impeachment proceedings against President Muhammadu Buhari over his alleged refusal to obey the Supreme Court judgment on the Naira redesign. The group also said the management and heads of all banks in the country should be prosecuted for conniving to deliberately unleash hardship on Nigerians. In a statement by its president, Augustine Chukwudum, on Friday sent to Politics Nigeria, the group noted that Buhari's alleged refusal to obey the Apex Court judgment was dictatorial and impeachable offense. I beg your pardon. The line states the Apex Court judgment was dictatorial and impeachable offense. How can Buhari fold his hands and watch innocent Nigerians die for hunger by denying them access to their money in the banks in the name of cashless policy, Naira swap, vote buying, and all sorts of terminologies? 23 elections, with some persons arguing that it was a turn of the Southeast to produce Nigeria's president. Many of those who made this arguments line up behind Peter Obi, Labour Party presidential candidate, who came third in the February 25th election. However, Obi pulled a surprise by defeating his main opponent, Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party, and Tinubu, who ran on the platform of the All Progressive Congress (APC) in their strongholds. Obi defeated Tinubu in Lagos, and that has formed a middle cushion ahead of the March 18th governorship election, which Labour Party has vowed to win. Going on to the next story. Popular pan-Yoruba group Oodua Youth Parliament (OYP) has disowned the factional Afenifere group led by Shukbo Shonibar following the endorsement of Labour Party governorship candidate Gbadebo Rhodes Vivo in Lagos. The group said the factional Afenifere group does not represent nor speak for the Yoruba race. Frowning at factional Afenifere support for Rhodes Vivo, OYP also warned the factional group to stay away from Southwest politics. In a statement by the Speaker of OYP, Are Abdelmajid Oladimeji Oyeniyi, he declared his group's support for the Lagos State All Progressive Congress (APC) gubernatorial candidate Babajide Sanwo-Olu, pledging that they will secure 1 million votes for him in the upcoming governorship election. He said, just like the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi was defeated in the recently concluded presidential poll, Vivo Rhodes will also lose to the incumbent governor of Lagos State, Sanwo-Olu, in the gubernatorial election coming March 18th this year. Moving on to the next story. One of the spokespersons for Atiku Okowa Presidential Campaign Council, Senator Dino Melai, has insisted that the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), Mahmood Yakubu, must resign. The former lawmaker gave the demand in a post via his Twitter handle on Saturday. Melai's call is coming against the backdrop of threat of lawsuit by Yakubu on the allegation that he rigged the presidential election by the People's Democratic Party (PDP). Recall that the party had called for the Police and Department of State Service (DSS) to investigate the INEC boards over alleged manipulation of election results. The PDP said the call followed further review of the widely condemned infractions, brazen violation of the provisions of the Electoral Act 2022 and criminal manipulation and alteration of election results. PDP alleged that INEC subverted the will of Nigerians in the just concluded February 25th presidential and National Assembly elections. Going to Lagos State. Some Lagos residents have expressed regret for collecting the old 500 naira and 1000 naira note from commercial banks after the Supreme Court judgment validated it as legal tender till December 31st this year. They told the news agency of Nigeria 9 in separate interviews that it had been challenging spending the two old notes as Nigerians were not accepting the money for their daily transactions. They also said it was surprising that 2 days after the judgment, banks started paying between 5,000 naira and 10,000 naira per customer, compared with 3,000, 5,000 naira that were dispensed from their automated teller machines (ATMs) during the cash swap period. Mr. Matthew Aburumi, a student of Lagos State Polytechnic Ikorodu, who expressed disappointment, said he had been unable to spend the money he collected from a bank. Someone then told me that a nearby bank was paying old notes since it was from a commercial bank. I felt they would pay based on the instructions of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Then I went and queued. Eventually, I was able to withdraw 10,000 naira from the bank. As we speak, the money is still with me. I've been unable to pay or spend the money. The first rejection was from a commercial bus driver. Still in Lagos State, Oduwa, the driver of the Lagos Star bus involved in the last Thursday's collision with a train that left 6 persons dead and several injured, has begged victims for forgiveness. Passengers in the bus that survived the collision blamed the 44-year-old for the incident, alleging he ignored warnings not to cross the train line before the incident. They said he had his earpiece on while driving and ignored the directive of the flag officers at the rail line. But Oduwa blamed the incident on a mechanical fault in the bus. The driver, who spoke and worked with the Lagos State Ministry of Transport, has been transferred to the State Criminal Intelligence Department (SCID) after escaping the collision on off. According to Vanguard, he was heard telling his relations, "It was not my fault. How could I have ignored warning signs? The bus had a mechanical fault." From Lagos State, we move to the next story. Some officials of the Nigerian Navy reportedly invaded a police facility in Delta State on Friday evening and assaulted a police officer. Nigeria News learned that the incident happened at any police station in Warri. In a viral video, the police officer, who could be seen moving restlessly inside the premises of the police station, surrounded by angry colleagues who were appealing to him to stay calm. His face was bad and his police uniform was partially torn. The injured police officer later pulled off his shirt and hastened towards the gate, apparently to go after the naval officials who allegedly came to do that to him. It is uncertain why the security personnel were involved in the fracas. However, the Delta State Police spokesman, Bright Afenifere, in an interview with Prime Times, said they were treating the issue internally. From that story, we go to the next one. The National State Police Command has arrested 2 suspected rapists for allegedly having unlawful carnal knowledge of a 15-year-old girl. For the suspect was said to have taken advantage of a victim who is there to commit the illicit act. The State Police Public Relations Officer, DSP Raman Nansel, in a statement said that a complaint was lodged at the Obi Division that one Aminu Ashimu, 24, and Lukman Dogara, 18, both males of Owoloshi Street, Obi local government area, Nasarawa State, criminally conspired and have their act on the girl on March 2, 2023. According to the statement, upon receipt of the report, investigation and manhunt were launched by police operatives attached to the division for the suspect. He assured that preliminary investigation revealed that the suspect lured the victim, who had hearing parent, to their residence at Okwe Street, OB, and had the act with her. The PPRO of the command further explained that after the crime, the victim was immediately taken to hospital for medication. From that, we go to the foreign story. More than 1,000 Africans trying to reach Europe have been rescued in a single night off Tunisia, the Coast Guard said Friday, after a wave of violence against black migrants. Last month, President Kais said ordered officials in the North African country to take urgent measures to tackle irregular migration, claiming without evidence that a criminal pilot or plot was underway to change Tunisia's democratic makeup. His comments fueled attacks, evictions, and other retaliation against migrants. International rights groups said Thursday after West African countries flew on hundreds of their fearful nationals. Tunisia's Coast Guard said in a statement that it had rescued 1,008 migrants overnight Thursday, Friday off the coast, which lies about 130 kilometers, 80 miles from the Italian island of Lampedusa at its closest points. Concluding the world news this hour is a sports story. Kelechi Iheanacho has been nominated for Leicester City Goal of the Month for February. Iheanacho got a double nomination for his goals against Aston Villa and Tottenham Hotspur. The Nigerian scored from a brilliant header in Leicester City 4-2 win against Aston Villa. The 26-year-old also recorded 2 assists in the game. Iheanacho scored a sublime goal a week later in the Foxes 4-1 thumping of Tottenham Hotspur at the King Power Stadium. The forward has scored 3 goals in 19 league appearances for Brendan Rodgers' side this season. That ends the world news this hour. Before we go, some major headlines. National Assembly told to impeach President Buhari over Naira redesign policy. Joe Igbokwe, Tinubu will rule till 2031, then hand over to a northerner. Oodua group knocks Afenifere for endorsing LP candidates in Lagos. We also brought to you INEC chair Yakubu must go, says Melaye. Finally, Iheanacho's double nominated for Leicester City Goals of the Month. For more stories and updates on YouTube, the handle is BGI TV Current, and on Facebook, same as Baba Bagede Imo with Alawiye Adebayo, and on Instagram, Bagede Imo _22. For advert placement of your goods and services, coverage of your event and functions, please call the phone number streaming on the screen for advert placements only. Thank you for watching. I am Morire Rabila Lawa. Good evening.
Oh, na, na, na. If you want to know what's going on in city, or you want to listen to the latest news and gist, no stress, oh, just tune to BGI TV. BGI TV, you're one in a million.